Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and today we are taking out the Tier 9 Japanese destroyer, the Yugumo, and I know I have yet to actually do a video on the Yugumo. Honestly, she's very similar to Kagero with very slight differences, but let me quickly show you what map we are on and what the team is looking like. We are playing currently on Tears of the Desert. We have a Hiryu, Fita de Gros, Tirpitz, Colorado, Gneisenau, Nagano, New Orleans, Fiji, Yugumo, Benson, Mahan, and a Shiratsuyu. On the enemy team, there is a Ranger, Ismo, Bismarck, Colorado, two Gneisenaus, Edinburgh, Miyoko, Fletcher, Kagero, Mahan, and a Shiratsuyu. And honestly, the Yugumo, like I said, is very similar to the Kagero in a lot of ways. Probably the major difference when the Kagero was a Tier 9 was that the Yugumo actually has a faster rate of guns than the Kagero had. The Yugumo has around 5.8 seconds on her guns, which really does make her more viable to actually attack any destroyers that you do encounter. Now, I do have to watch out for the Fletcher. And a good tactic for any Japanese destroyer captains out there is fight. If you are going to fight a American destroyer, fight away, like retreating away from the American destroyers, because they have a little bit harder time hitting you if you are running away. And the majority of your guns are actually in the rear of your ship. So a good tactic is actually start pulling away, kind of how I am doing right now with this Fletcher. Now, another aspect of the Kagero versus the Yugumo was the Kagero had a detection around 5.4 kilometers, while the Yugumo has a 5.5 kilometers, so you do have a little bit less. The torpedoes are very similar. There's not much change in them. You can get the additional 76 kilometer torpedoes, which is very beneficial, because it is very difficult for any ships to dodge it, especially a battleship. But it also reduces the range to 8 kilometers. Now, our team has majority at least moved to sea. Almost all the destroyers up there except for me are at sea. And our friendly team on the west-hand side is kind of being lazy, I guess you could say. But we do get a torpedo hit on the Gneisenau, which is always very beneficial. So whenever you're fighting against other destroyers, fight going away. It really makes you a lot harder to hit. And with the Yugumo's guns, you have a higher rate of firepower than the than say the Kagero. So A is essentially lost. Not a lot of the friendly team is moving to A. They're actually starting to moving up to C. Now, B has been captured at least by one of the enemy destroyers. And yeah, we've already lost a destroyer, which is not particularly good. Now, the reload time on the Yugumo's torpedoes is fairly decent, actually. It is around a minute and 25 seconds. So it is very quick to actually get your torpedoes back up and running. And this is helped by my captain, which does have the torpedo increase. And there is the Kagero. Let's go ahead and bring our guns to bear. And with this faster rate of firepower, it really makes a big difference whenever you're fighting against other Japanese destroyers, because these lower tiers don't have that high rate of firepower compared to the Yugumo. So you can use this to your advantage. And waiting for the last second, and finally we're able to open up. And we get pretty decent hit. We do get 3 torpedo hits on that Ismo, which is very, very nice. But I think we need to actually start pulling away, because the enemy team is actually moving into B as well. Now, our team is kind of, I don't want to say they're potatoing, but they are kind of potatoing right now. And there is the Kagero's torpedoes. Should be easy to dodge. Shouldn't be that big of an issue. And it looks like the Kagero, it is landing some shots on us. We are getting hit by the enemy team as well. But I think we should be fine as long as we can get out of there. We aren't being detected. We did pop our smoke, and we can actually launch some torpedoes towards this Gneiss now, who is being highly aggressive. And this is usually what you expect from German battleships, because they just have this idea that they're impenetrable because of their secondary armaments. Which, I mean, the Bismarck, yeah, it also does have hydroacoustics, but the Gneiss now does not. And this Gneiss now should eat a few of my torpedoes. Let's see how many we can get on this Gneiss now. Looks like we can get, oh, we got one. Does look like he was able to slip right between our torpedo spread, because he is a fairly narrow ship. Now, I do not want to run into this island. That would definitely kill me, because we do have a Fletcher sneaking in as well. Fletcher was coming in from A. And essentially why I wanted to show this match was to prove a point how important capping is. As you will see as the game progresses that capping is important unbelievably, and being in the right position at the right time. So, the enemy team really has secured A and B. Our team is secured C, but they're not really pushing into B. And yeah, I'm taking really big steps in the other directions. And there is the Fletcher. And this is where a good illustration of how beneficial it is to play Japanese destroyer while falling back. We do go ahead and drop some torpedoes. You never know, we might get lucky. There's also the enemy Gneiss now. Let's see if we can take out this Fletcher. Taking out the Fletcher would be fantastic. And you can see we can do pretty good damage on an enemy Fletcher. We had over 3,000 points there, 2,000 points there. He's very low on health. Can we get the Fletcher? There we go. Very first kill of the game. And it was kind of needed. Unfortunately, as you can see, our team have lost all of our destroyers except for one, which is me. But fortunately, we were able to take out the enemy Fletcher, which was probably my major concern. Now, the enemy CV is bringing in planes, and I'm expecting to be shot, or at least dropped on, by the enemy CV. But I don't know actually what happens here, because you can see the dive bomber and the fighter are just kind of hanging about right there. I think this is actually a lag spike right here I'm experiencing right now, because they just kind of disappear and all of a sudden move all the way north. So yeah, the enemy CV did not go after me, and this is going to be kind of a thing that repeats itself multiple times. Now, the ARP Miyoko is actually moving extremely far north. He's isolated, and it looks like he might be going after our CV. And he really probably needs to get put down. But my main concern is to cap. We are down on ships. We're down on cap points. And if we don't do something very quickly, we're probably going to lose this game. Now, there is a Ismo. And he's a nice big juicy target, but he is moving away, so that's gonna make it a little bit more difficult to hit him. Not impossible, but a little bit more difficult. But there is a enemy Colorado incoming as well, and I believe I actually do switch over to the Colorado. Go ahead and line up some shots, and I also fired a shot at the retreating Ismo. You never know, you might get lucky. So at least what I'm hoping for. Now, here's something I could possibly do. I could pull myself away from the battle and cap A, which would bring us back and give us some more points, a little bit more breathing room, as Colorado just kind of runs into my torpedoes. We get Confederate and our second kill of the game. But at the same time, if I go for A, I am out of the battle for a little while I'm capping. So here you can actually see I am debating. I'm going back and forth. Should I go and assist, or should I take A? And this is very, very crucial. I decide to go cap A. And we actually get a torpedo hit on the retreating Ismo, which is very nice, especially since the torpedoes were probably spotted by the Colorado that was sunk. Now, unfortunately for us, our carrier is alone by himself with a ARP Miyoko hunting him down. And this is gonna spell some trouble for our team, because the enemy CV is nice and safe. He doesn't have to worry about anyone sneaking up on him, and he's able to drop his planes and his torpedo planes at will. So, yeah, this game, this match, whew, it really comes close, as you will see. So we made it today, and I'm gonna go ahead, turn in, and start slowing down. And this Edinburgh, oh, this Edinburgh, this is one captain you need to keep your eyes on. So I'm gonna see if I can actually hit him. I know he's over 10 kilometers out, but he is currently moving our way. And by the time he gets within 10 kilometers, our torpedoes will be right on top of him. And I'm kind of hoping that we'll be able to at least get a few torpedo hits on him. We might. Now, our team is fighting. All we have left are 3 battleships, a destroyer, and our CV is trying to take out the Miyoko. Does take out the Miyoko, but the Miyoko, I believe... Actually, no. Sorry. My memory's a little fuzzy, but I believe our CV actually does survive, which is very fortunate. Unfortunately for us, our torpedoes do miss the enemy Edinburgh, and had those torpedoes hit, this match probably would have swung quite a bit differently. Now there is a retreating Ismo within our torpedo range, and he is moving between these islands. This is going to prevent him from really maneuvering in any direction that he would like to. And this is going to make him a very easy torpedo target. And if you can guess what's about to happen, yeah, I know, I kind of spoiled it. But I go ahead and launch one spread of torpedoes, and once again, I want to kill this Edinburgh. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and swing my ship back in and launch another spread of torpedoes. But you can see I'm also getting kind of close to these enemy battleships. There is an Ismo within 6 kilometers, and the Gneisenau. Now, my first spread of torpedoes are going to be looking pretty good. And here I'm just going to go ahead, pop my smoke, and use my guns. My torpedoes are on reload, so I might as well use my guns to get my damage in. And you can see in the comments, the Ismo captain saw my torpedoes, and we get our 3rd kill of the game. Very, very nice. Now, all that's left on the enemy team is the Edinburgh, the CV, and the Gneisenau. Now, this Gneisenau is fighting for his life against, I believe, a Turbot. Let's actually quickly take a look. Turbot and a Nagato, who are actually fairly high on health. I mean, they have a decent amount of health. They are over halfway on their health, and yeah. Anyway, so firing away at this Gneisenau. Trying to get a fire. Fire would be nice, but it looks like the friendly Turbot does take out the enemy Gneisenau, and we are free to cap B. And in that time that we were actually losing, we've brought ourselves back, and we are 2 ships ahead of the enemy team, and we are about to take B, so that's going to give us additional points advantage. And you can see we're about 100 points ahead of the enemy team. But there is a full health Edinburgh moving into B. And the Edinburgh isn't a bad ship, as you will see. So B is going to be captured. I'm actually going to start moving away. Really would like to take out this Edinburgh. The CV has dropped his torpedoes, which has caused him to maneuver, and at the same time caused him to miss my torpedoes as well, which is highly unfortunate. Had I waited just a little bit longer after the CV dropped his torpedoes, my torpedoes would have been able to hit more than likely. Edinburgh is still a tricky ship to deal with, but the enemy CV has his planes above. He is bringing his torpedo planes in to drop on our friendly battleships, and I'm going to go ahead and try to use my AA. The AA on the Yugumo is not bad. You can see we at least shot one plane down, and the Edinburgh is opening up on us, which essentially I don't blame him. We are getting damaged fairly well with the Edinburgh's armor piercing, but armor piercing from British cruisers do have a tendency to actually ricochet off the hull, especially since I am fairly well angled. Now at this point I'm debating whether or not I should go after the CV. One, the reason why I thought this was that I thought our battleships should be able to take care of a British cruiser. Well, you just saw there that unfortunately we did lose our Nagato to the Edinburgh due to the fact that the CV landed torpedoes on the Nagato and the Edinburgh was able to take out the weakened Nagato. And the friendly Tirpitz is asking whether or not he has torpedoes. And I'm like, yep, he has torpedoes. He has actually really good torpedoes. And just watch this. Just watch this. Now, one thing to point out right now is look at the time. The time is about 3 minutes and 20 seconds. The scores are fairly close. We're at 8:01 to 7:41. The Edinburgh is currently going after our Tirpitz, and looks like the Tirpitz is able to dodge the first spread of torpedoes, but the Edinburgh does get off 3 more, and yeah, knocks that Tirpitz all the way down to almost 6,000 points of health. And I'm opening fire on this Edinburgh, just trying to help. I do land a incapacitation on his torpedoes, but the Edinburgh is landing some good armor-piercing shots on this Tirpitz. Just this Tirpitz, can he fight? He has 1,000 HP. No. The enemy Edinburgh takes out the friendly Tirpitz, which leaves me and the CV alone against the Edinburgh and the enemy CV. And here is where it's really gonna count. The enemy team is ahead in points. We still have 2 caps to their 1, and the Edinburgh is actually going to start moving into B. The enemy CV could have secured this match for the enemy team, for their team, had he kept me spotted. But you can see he dropped torpedoes, he dropped his dive bombers, and then he brought those planes back. Had he kept me spotted, kept me in one place at a time, kept me in place, this team could have won. Really could have won, because now the Edinburgh has taken over, is starting to cap B right now. He has about a minute, and once he captures B, he's going to start gaining points over us. And I'm asking right now for the CV to spot the Edinburgh. I was going to smoke up and drop or start firing my guns, do some damage on that Edinburgh, but the friendly CV is actually AFK at the moment. He actually loses connection, and the Edinburgh does dodge my torpedoes, and yeah, not a particularly good position, because we have about 48 seconds left on the clock, and the Edinburgh almost has the B cap fully captured. Right now, all I need to do is get into A and prevent any increase of points to the enemy team. We are sitting about, 11 points difference right now? And dropping torpedoes, we are sitting about 5 points difference. We have 10 seconds on the clock. And we are sitting at 2 points difference right now. I get in, I'm slowing down the game right now. And look at this. 3 seconds left. Had I not got into A at that particular moment, they would have gained 3 more additional points and won by 1 single point before this game ended, and we would have lost. That's how important capping is. How important it is to be in a particular spot when you need it and where you need it. But fortunately, because I was able to get an A at that time, we were able to win this game. And yeah, so this is actually going to be it for this episode of Funday Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed this actually very exciting nail-biting game. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.